breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release, and I know, I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. No need to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Thousands of years ago, the Buddha taught you are what you think.
I am love. I am peace.
I am joy.
I am silly.
I am powerful.
So a modern philosopher coined the phrase that you are what you eat.
I am organic vanilla ice cream.
I'm chia seeds.
I'm a good, strong cup of coffee in the morning.
I am mac and cheese.
Today, like millions of my human sisters and brothers on planet Earth,
I'm becoming mindful about what I eat, what I think.
but lately I've been thinking about this.
I watch what I eat, but do I watch what I watch?
What about what I feed my mind, my heart, and my soul?
At Conscious Good, we believe you are what you watch.
You are what you watch.
Anytime you watch something that causes your soul to hurt, there's an impact.
So what's the answer?
At Conscious Good,
We think it's about feeding our minds the same way that we feed our bodies.
with nourishing choices.
After all, if media can have a negative influence on behavior, it can also have a positive one.
It's been proven that if we watch TV shows and videos about people helping others,
Cooperating and being generous.
It can actually influence us to be more altruistic and kind to one another.
Talk about paying it forward.
So next time you sit down to watch your comfort movie,
consider how you will feel afterwards. Will you be happy and energized?
That's because maybe, just maybe,
What you watch.
Read
And listen to.
matters.
I am what I watch. So I watch what I watch.
I am nourished.
I am inspired.
I am enlightened.
I am a celebration.
I am conscious.
I am conscious.
I am conscious.
I am good.
I am good.
I am good.
We
We
We are.
are.
We are.
We are conscious good.
Everyone wishes to live their best life. We experiment with various ways to achieve that, whether it is through study, competing, finding a partner, working hard, or admiring someone who inspires you. It is the quality of our inner being that does it all, or grapples with fulfilling life's calling. For the past 20 years, the Brahma Kumaris in Washington, D.C. has been a space for any and everyone to enter into and experience one's soul calling. From 1997, the center opened in an old rickety house on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, where cars and trucks that passed by would shake the space. But when you were inside, it was a peaceful and powerful sanctuary for all who visited. Since then, over 2,500 events, 17 city and nationwide initiatives, 21 awards, 2 meditation museums have served youths, senior citizens, entrepreneurs, scientists, authors, women, interfaith, the disabled, environment, small businesses, arts seekers, and even leaders. Millions of lives have been served, either through social media, the popular America Meditating radio show, or through exhibitions, lectures, partnerships, and programs held in the meditation museums and centers. We look at 20 years of service as a continued journey of love, courage, wisdom, and determination with friends from diverse backgrounds and thought who believe a better world is possible when we make ourselves better human beings. Meditation is an important tool that helps us to gain greater clarity, insights, and inner power so we can make healthy choices and amplify our capacity to live a full life. In times of great anxiety, insecurity, and fear, meditation is an essential practice for everyone to gain stability and inner strength. Just look at what a few dedicated, purposeful, and kind group of committed people have been able to achieve in 20 years. Thanks to everyone who have supported us along the way. And thanks in advance to those who believe in our work and power of intent. Brahma Kumaris Meditation Museums, where peace is inside.
It's Karen Drucker coming to you from San Francisco, California, and I am here to say that I love watching The Next Normal with Sister Jenna. I get transformed, I am inspired, it's deep, it's wise, it's wonderful, just like her. I hope you're watching it too.
We are this voice together. We are this voice together. We make this choice together. We make this choice together. Om Shanti. We're singing Om Shanti.
Shanti, everyone. Welcome to the next normal. I too will agree with you, Denise. This song always brings tears to my eyes as well. Happy tears, tears of deep realization, a deep sense of coming home to the self, feeling a connection, feeling a healing, feeling vast, like everything in you is opening to your Shanti, you know. Om is such a sacred sound, isn't it? The universe, they say, has the murmuring sound of Om. And they say when you chant Om a lot, everything changes. Negative energies leave you, and you keep going Om. 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 And you keep going into it. Om. Om. And you start to feel like something in you is clearing away. And even your environment is clearing away. Anyway, welcome everyone. Trust that you're all doing super, super awesome, super well. And you're enjoying being in your own company. And not only are you enjoying being in your own company, you're also extremely open to the changes that are inevitable. There's an installation that we have at the meditation museums, and it's about the entry of God coming into your mind and awakening you and telling you a story. And at the end of the installation, the comments or the phrase says, I've come to change you because change is inevitable. And that's always touched me because Santosh and I was talking that some of us like change, but only if we can control it. And some of us feel uncomfortable when we have to change, when we are not ready to change. How many of you had to change when the pandemic came around? Did your lifestyle change? Did your economy change? Did your form of relationships change? Did they get better? Did they get worse? Did they stray? Did they get closer?
You know, what are the changes that have happened for you in the last 9 months since we've been on this unique ride of the COVID pandemic? It's like one thing that I can guarantee, change. I remembered when I was younger, in my, I would say very, very early 20s. And when, as you all know, many of you know, I used to race cars as a hobby. And there was a mechanic, Trevor was his name. And one of the things Trevor used to say, and Trevor was also a very good racer as well. And I remember Trevor used to tell me, Jenna, this is how he talked to me. Jenna, one thing I want you to know, always, you hear me? Expect the unexpected. It was always important when you're on a racetrack because you never know what'll happen. Your tire will blow out, another driver might come too close to you, you might pick up a skid, whatever it might be. But I used to always remember that word of advice. Always expect the unexpected. And I think what that does for you, it makes you kind of humble yourself to know that the universe, the drama, the destiny, has sometimes such a bigger story written for you. If you'll just let go, if you'll just let go and be maybe the observer of life instead of the one who absorbs and takes everything in, that you don't have any more room for you to even co-create anything new. So today's sharing and topic is about observing and also accepting change. So where do we start? Where do we start with change? Haven't you changed, or have you stayed the same since, let's say, your first year or two? Do you feel like you're the same essence of that energy inside of you? Or do you think that you've just added layers of life experiences, but when you get still enough, it's no effort to return to your spirit of innocence? Have you had that feeling before? You know? So on one level, I would say that we do change. And on another level, it's almost as if we're the same. I was talking to the family the other day that, oh my, you know, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. And they just looked at me like, sister, you're young, you look young. I says, I know, it's just that the numbers are saying that I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. And what I was feeling was, wow, on the inside of me, I swear to you, I still feel like 15. Like the world is out there, and you're so curious about everything. And I would say one of my saving grace, which took place about maybe 10, 15 years ago, was one day I woke up and I knew for certain I would give myself an injustice if I continued to develop this attitude that I knew so much, and that there were certain gifts that I had possessed, and that it would have been harder for me to learn. And that one day I remembered looking at the life of prophets and seers and saints, and even of Brahma Baba, that they had no idea what the future held. None whatsoever. All they knew was that they were having a most profound experience. And the other thing was that they felt the direction in which humanity was going, they didn't want to be a part of it. They wanted to be a part of love and compassion and service. But they had no idea, in particular Jesus had no idea, that 2,000 years later, over 1 billion people plus would go towards his message, his example, his way of life, and find inspiration and guidance for their own lives. And he didn't strategize it. Jesus didn't have Facebook. He didn't have a Twitter account. He didn't have Instagram. He definitely didn't have a smartphone. But 2,000 years later, his legacy still lingered on. And we've observed throughout time how certain energies and messages impact our hearts in ways that we find it very hard to forget. Very, very difficult to forget. It's as if it pierced itself into the history or into the storyline of history to never be erased. Never. Just imagine Jesus, Abraham, Buddha, Guru Nanak, Muhammad. I mean, what they said and how they said it, I would say they must have come from a deep place of being an observer to life and extremely open to change. Because when you start to step out of your skin and step out of what you're used to, it's a revolution. And in many ways, you're being a rebel. You're stepping out of what you're familiar with, and you're becoming someone else. And on top of that, you're going against the majority. You're going against the energy of the majority. So think about this for a minute. How pure is that thought, is that experience, initiating the change that is the inevitable for you? Now you might think going through a divorce is the worst thing that you could ever encounter. Could be, depending on the time that you're in and the state that you're in. Maybe something happening to your child. Yeah, it's tough. I don't like those changes. Maybe you've lost your job. Maybe you're not sure about the economy. Maybe your health has been impacted. These are changes that when they do occur, we're kind of foggy. We get a little confused. Sometimes the fear gets fed and it kicks in big time. And then the rage and the anger and the expectations and the disappointments, even revenge, manipulation. It's interesting when certain changes occur, how they show us what's inside. Sometimes I think we don't like change because we're afraid to actually see what we're trying to conceal and protect. Give that some thought, just for a little. When you think you're the one controlling the change, sometimes you're still concealing your true self. You think you know who you are, but take away everything that gives you comfort and take away everything that you're used to, and then experience that change. See what comes up inside of you. Let's do a little meditation, and let's go into the experience of the power to change. I'll see you shortly.
The power to accept. I visualize the swirling of a turquoise energy. It's as if I feel great relief. I experience this energy like the power of water in a river that flows within me. As it flows, it sweeps away everything that prevents me from being authentic, free and complete. What has been painful or has made me feel unhappy. But as with water in the hands, it's gone. I accept all which has happened to me or will happen will be lived this way. Nothing is permanent. Everything has a cycle. There is a beginning, a climax, and an end, which allows me to rise again and learn from the situation. All of us are actors in an endless play. Each actor has a role to play. Therefore, I accept with wisdom what may happen. And consequently accepting that, all has to flow. My character, my transformation, those with whom I relate, what surrounds me. Everything has its own rhythm, and a very profound attitude of authentic respect for myself appears. For those who surround me, for what's going on. Because although I may not believe it, everything happens for the best. And then acceptance fills me with trust, with confidence, with assurance, even when I would otherwise feel unsafe and uncertain. My steps are strong from the flow of my own being, and I see beauty and opportunity, the signs of learning and wisdom. I am truth, confidence, creativity, love. This is the power to accept. Feel the power.
I'll have to tell you this, that listening to that meditation kind of reminds me of how in one way we think we're very much in charge of our changes. And to some extent we are. But have you ever given it a thought? Maybe it's all prescripted for you? What if everything was preordained? I'm going to give you an example. An actor gets a script. And in the script are the characters already outlined. And the actor simply has to come into the story and make the character that the writer has drafted real enough for you and me to believe in. It always fascinates me. On a piece of paper, a writer has had a thought about personalities and players of a game. And then these characters are written into a story, and then they import people that come into that paper, into that book of words, to say, can you act out this person's part that people will believe this character? To what extent do they have to absorb the personality, the energy, the behavior, the vibration, the whole way of that person's being, to convince us this is really who they are? I have used the example of Ben Kingsley playing the role of Mahatma Gandhi. Everybody in Hollywood knows that Ben Kingsley is completely opposite to Mahatma Gandhi. And yet, for almost 3 hours, he had us glued and absorbed into the personality of Mahatma Gandhi and the journey that he's made. So when you get absorbed in a particular experience, does it move you away from you? Does it limit you? Does it put you in a corner that you start to feel safe, or maybe the better word, restricted. When you absorb something that, let's say, if I absorb something that's based on algae, anger, lust, greed, attachment, ego. Let's say I absorb a lot of negativity. Let's say I absorb a lot of disappointments. Let's say I absorb not believing much in myself. Then I get stuck in that absorption. And even if an opportunity comes to try to move me away from that, to break out of it, I don't have the energy to be an observer of even seeing the mistakes that I am making in my own life. The power of observing, what it does, it offers you the greatest virtue the human soul requires to evolve: honesty. When you can step back and look at something for what you think it really is, and be quietly in your mind honest about not only how you feel about the situation, but even think about how the other person must be feeling. That power to observe not only breeds the energy of honesty, but with the honesty that you will apply to what you're witnessing will also offer you some deep wisdom. And who doesn't need some wisdom in these particular times? We all do. We all do. So one of the ways that we practice observing in the Brahma Kumaris, we become very aware that the living energy behind our eyes is who we are, the soul. Just for a minute, turn your attention behind your eye. Just go inside. Observe the difference of the vibrations. Does it get a little quieter? Is it opening up for you, your world? Are you able to capture thoughts at a different level than you did when you were just into your senses and dealing with just the physical? What the power of observation offers you is not only stability, clarity, focus, intentionality, compassion, clarity, I said clarity, lightness, but it just offers you so much wisdom about life. To practice being a witness, is what they say, or a detached observer, will keep you grounded in the essence of your real sense of self. It sounds like an oxymoron. How will I be grounded in my real self if I'm only observing me? Because in your observing of yourself, it is the soul awareness, the soul consciousness that you're applying that's making you wise enough to observe your life rather than to be so pulled into it that at times you can get so lost that you're not even aware of if you're coming or going. So what observance does, it also just gives you that insight that's needed, especially when you're going to make a really important decision. You must practice being a detached observer. I highly recommend, if you have to make important decisions and you feel a tug of war, a push and pull, please don't do anything. At that moment, inside of your energy, there's truth and illusion happening at the same time. And when you make the decision with this kind of energy, what will come into your life as a manifestation is the obstacle that emerges as a result of, I wasn't sure. But wait and breathe it through, detach, be an observer, look at the situation and ask, if I do this, will it put me in a bondage or will it set me free? And wait. The energy of God's light will give you the signal. Nice food for thought. Okay, you ready for another meditation? Ready? Take a deep breath. Let's do another sweet dive. let's go on a journey.
Living. 1. The principle to observe and not absorb. When we observe, we take a new mental position in whatever situation we are in whatever relationships we find ourselves. Observing is a silent skill, a skill I need to learn if I am to assess clearly what positive changes are needed in a situation or with a person. An observer keeps the mind clear, free, and thus open to new perspectives, because we learn to listen and tune into the reality of the other. Observing enables us to be creative, productive, effective, because we have given space for a true and better understanding. If we do not learn this art of observing, we react and absorb ourselves in the negativity of the person or event. We get lost in the quicksand of what's wrong, and so we can never make things right. As we absorb, we fill ourselves, become heavy with negative emotion, and remain helpless on the ground. The gravity of overload does not allow us to rise and perceive the reality of things. We lose perspective. If we wish to understand how the mental position of observing gives us the power of perspective, we can look at a bird and the ant. The ant, busy, 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 scrambling over everything in its rush to find food and to collect it, will only see what is in front of its nose. The bird, on the other hand, leaves the earth, and as it flies up alone, higher and higher, it starts to see the bigger picture compared to when it was on the ground or on a branch. Seeing the whole picture, it has the perspective of the area, then can truly see where to go, what to do. When we lose perspective, we get stuck in the detail, we miss the obvious, and cannot imagine or think of other realities.
All right. You know, I have to tell you, I was telling Santosh, I just love our next normals. It's just a beautiful blend. And even though we changed, no? We changed from spiritual vaccine hour, remember that, everyone, who are tuned in from the beginning, to the next normal. The next normal actually came from Kanu, who we were talking about the next show, which would be the new normal. He says, yes, I know everyone is talking about the new normal, but we don't know what the next normal to be new would be. So I thought about that and I said, yeah, what is the next normal? And I'm hoping that the next normal would be awakened beings, emotionally strong individuals, emotionally focused, spiritually well, intellectually clear, that we don't bump into the confusion and the debris that we've been in for quite a number of years right now. So again, the changes are upon us and no one has been able to stop change. Nobody. Can you imagine how the candle industry felt when electricity was discovered. Sit for a little bit on that. Those candle makers who were lighting up your little homes, when that man invented light, electricity, it put an end to the industry. Yes, now we have candles and they're fragrant candles, and of course it creates an ambiance, there's no doubt. But it did put an end to the industry. And there was nothing they could do about it. Electrical cars are now being manufactured rapidly. We won't have cars that go on gas anymore. And pretty soon we'll start to get into cars that are driving, that are flying. Remember the cartoon? I don't know if you recall this cartoon show called The Jetsons. And the Jetsons were all about people flying in their little space jets, meeting each other up there in the ethers. We never thought that we could ever go to the moon, but Star Trek had given a show of a man landing on the moon, and sure enough, we ended up on the moon. Change. So are we preparing for that? Are we preparing for that spiritual change that is occurring? You see, the future will be a golden age, a beautiful world. And if your personality prepares for that and develops the qualities of an angel or a deity or a kind, thoughtful, mindful, strong, gentle, caring, pure person, then there is full faith that a golden age is coming and change is upon us. Change. Not to mention, we're now in the season of Hanukkah. I mean, just imagine what it was like when people were just whisked away in a train and put in a camp, and most of them died there. Nobody wanted that change. Nobody could have even imagined in their wildest dreams that a person would concoct an idea like that would shape history. And even though it is historic, that leader goes down with the worst vibration, the worst energy, but it's almost as if it was just the inevitable. Like, to this day, I can't tell you the why that happened. The why. And yet, there is significance behind it. Maybe, I don't know. That's another class and that's another conversation. But imagine absorbing that vibration, that you don't even have the energy to be able to look above it, to deal with it in a different capacity. So as we move through times of change now, most of us are doing things through technology. The next technology that they're working on to release soon is AI, artificial intelligence. You and I would be doing this in the air and talking and going, yeah, you know, just talking and doing our programs. Artificial intelligence. We'll be moving in that direction. Is this a preparation? Zoom meetings, conferences, WebExes, all of these things, virtual meetings. Is this all about developing our mind now? It's a huge change to come from the physical connection between people to a virtual connection that is mostly emotional and mental. I think what it's actually telling us to change is use your mind in a good way. Your greatest resource is a beautiful mind. If used right and used well, it will uplift humanity. So in order for us to develop a mind that has that kind of a capacity to spread vibrations, have you ever practiced trying to dissolve the absorption of the idea of your body? To just let go of all the ideas and the forms that you carry in your consciousness, and the way you have invested so much energy in believing in those forms that you've become so self-absorbed in such a limited interpretation that even in your observing, sometimes you could be tainted by still your absorption. And the greatest form of being an observer of life is to consider yourself a soul and to remember God the divine. When you actually step inwards and become cognizant of the energy of light that you are, and then you allow the energy of God's love to really work through you, because you're allowing yourself to be so present. That's the art of meditation, you know. You allow yourself to be present, that you let go all of that control, because you're so open to the change and the transformation that's going to occur when the soul experiences God love. There is no control. It's just beauty. It's light. It's love. It's happiness. Okay, one last meditation for today. Mike George, wonderful, one of our brothers from the UK, is going to take us through a meditation on dissolving the body. And I really want you to try this one out. I have a funny feeling it's going to be very life-changing.
Position in your chair where you're totally comfortable. Both feet flat on the ground. And then take all your attention down to the very tips of your toes. Be aware only of your toes. Just move the muscles in your toes slightly. And then consciously relax those muscles. Imagine they're dissolving into liquid and flowing away. And then bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Left and then right. Just tense those muscles slightly. And then once again, imagine that tension dissolving and flowing away. Come to the calves of your legs, left and then right. Be aware of those muscles. Tense slightly. And then once again, relax. Let the tension flow gently away. And then come to your thighs. Just move those muscles a little bit. Be aware of them. Tense slightly. And then imagine them turning to liquid. And that tension flowing away. Then come to your hands. Move your hands, your fingers, the lower parts of your arms. Just tense the muscles. Be aware of that part of your body. And then just rest one hand on top of each thigh. And then once again, just imagine any tightness, tension, dissolving and flowing down through your arms, through your hands, and out through the ends of your fingers. And then come to your shoulders, to your neck, and just imagine any tightness. Be aware of any tension. Across the back of your shoulders. Hold your attention at the top of your spine, just below the neck for a moment. And then gently drop each shoulder down. And imagine that tension dissolving and flowing away down through your arms, through your hands, and out through the ends of your fingers. Then come to your face, your jaw. Just move the muscles in your jaw a little bit. Be aware of that part of your face, and then relax. Consciously relax those muscles. And then bring your attention to your forehead, to your eyebrows. Be aware of that part of your face. And then relax. As the tension flows away. So now your whole body is totally relaxed in the chair. And all your attention is up here in the center of the forehead. And we'll just be quiet for a few moments as we relax the muscle of our minds.
I told you that would have been a special meditation, didn't I? We need to pause. We need to pause away from just all the humanness that we've been so influenced by and give the soul time to breathe. If you're feeling overwhelmed about any important decision that you have to make, I always recommend that maybe just let go of the I, me, or mine in that and go to Baba and just sit with Baba and say, Baba, tell me what you want me to do. Sometimes Baba will give you the absolute opposite answer to what you want to hear. But I'll guarantee you it's the right one. Time and time again, Baba has always been right. We're here to be free, liberated, loved, loving, generous, kind, intentional, mindful. And even though I know evil exists, because it comes from the algae modality, the more I feed that vibration, the more amplified evil gets in the world. And there's no doubt it's been around for a long time. It hasn't exited the scene or the movie yet. We're still working on it. And at some point in time, we look forward to that particular day or time. We don't have to grapple with the push and the pull, the light and the lack of light, the fear or the love. It'll just be. It'll just be. All right, so let's see who's on tonight, shall we? Yes? Everyone's okay? Give me a thumbs up if I'm on the right track, or if I've confused you, or if there's anything on your mind at all, anything that you'd like to share or go over. I'd be happy to see if I could support it in any way possible. By the way, Happy saw her surgeon today, and she's lying down here by my feet, and she goes for her surgery on Thursday morning. So we have to give her really big happy vibrations. I can't believe it. I can't believe a day would come. I mean, I've never had an animal, and so it's all a learning experience for me too. But that this poor little, innocent little pup will have to go for a surgery. I love it. I was telling Santosh, do they do that for the dogs in India? He's like, sister, the dogs just deal with their issues and they just roam the streets. But you know, whenever the dogs are actually living with you as human beings, they adapt your vibrations, so they become very human. And everyone who has ever met Happy, they're very clear. She's just not ordinary. There's a psychic intuition humanness about her. I can't find the words, but it's like she's not a dog. I just swear to you, she's like not a dog. She's just, she's different. So we've been just being the detached observer, so we don't develop too much attachment, and we're still engaged in helping her to process. So I want to give a very big thank you to Dr. Johnson from APA and to Reverend Sylvia, who actually led us to Dr. Johnson at APA in Lanham, Maryland. And a big big thank you to Antonia, who came to take her and make sure everything was okay and to look out for her. And I like how Antonia takes care of Happy better than us, huh? And Santosh? Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Happy, I'll do anything. Antonia, could I just get a glass of water? No. That's not true. She would do it. She's awesome. So she's going to wring my neck now when I go upstairs. Anyway, such is life. So, Denise, welcome. No confusion, only clarity. Praying for Happy. Yes, yes, we all must pray for Happy. Samantha, Om Shanti. Samantha, Om Shanti. And thanks to everyone who's been sending in donations for Happy and for also helping to keep the Meditation Museum going. We really, really appreciate it. You know, no donation is too small or large. Praveen Bhai, thank you. Very nice to have you. Kailash Ben, Erica, Mary, Anchal, Nancy, Shobha, Devyani from India, Indu Ben, Swarupa, Brother Umesh, glad to have you with us today. And Susanna and Louise all the way from the UK. Kirit, aap kaise hai? Hey, bye. You're in Delhi. Kirit's wife, Nitika Sopti, Dr. Nitika Sopti, has a wonderful program entitled Virtue Baby. It's basically to prepare a husband and a wife for bringing forth another child, but also while the soul and that child, that energy is growing in your body, how to prepare the kind of a sanskaras, that personality, that energy you'd like for the child so they'll have a character-based life. It's a wonderful program. So I'm hoping to have her on America Meditating pretty soon, but Virtue Baby. And I'm very proud to say that definitely I was a very big part of the forming of Virtue Baby many, many years ago. So Kirit, it has to be a great success, no doubt. So glad to have you on air. Abizan, Om Shanti, nice to have you. And everyone else who is here, Nagashri, Om Shanti, and all of our friends on Facebook. Thank you so much for those in Thailand. We really, really love you. I loved my time in Thailand. The people are absolutely phenomenal. Just the most special people ever. So Miranda, Kathy, Carmen, Clyde, Enid, and everyone else, Arlene, everybody who's available, sending love. Ranji Ben, very nice to have you. So as we move forward into the holiday season, let us see really, really what we can do for the holiday and come out as somebody new. You know, be a new version. We all want newness. We love new things. We like new shoes, new clothes. Some of us like new relationships. Even some of us want new kids, right? But new thinking, you know, start with your thinking. Start with new thinking. Be more of a detached observer and accept that change is inevitable. Always. Thank you so much from all of us for joining us on The Next Normal. Know that from deep down inside of our hearts, we wish you all the very best, each and every one of you. I want to send a special, special blessing to Bill as he goes through his health opportunity for his healing. So I know how strongly knit our community is, how intimately knit we are, and how purely knit we are. So let us send absolute light and might to our sweet brother Bill for incredible healing, incredible courage, incredible perseverance. I know he'll be well. Janvi, lots of love to you too. Our wonderful sister Priyanka and Ashish, as you venture through this new stage of your life together, know that everything is accurate according to drama. Once you put all of your best in, then be detached. You cannot force something to happen that's not meant to happen. So just put the best foot forward, accept the results, keep moving on. All right? Lots of blessings to everybody. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant